Alright, guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we are back for another Pool Planning BT Plus edition. This is part 3 to the series that I have been doing for the past, 2 videos so far, where I focus on certain BT characters within a time frame. So normally I talk about BT units within a 2.5 month time frame, and in these videos I just briefly talk about them, see what they're getting, see whether or not they are worth it. Well, not really worth it, but I give you guys like my opinions on them and whether or not I am going to consider BT plus in them or pulling them, so on and so forth. So if you guys want to join me and letting me know who you are planning to BT plusing or pulling, etc., do let me know down in the comment section below. What I'll probably do is make a list of the characters that I'm going to be talking about in this video down in a pinned comment, so that way you can copy paste and you can add whatever it is that you want to add within that list, to make things easier for either myself or anybody else who's curious on what you are going to be BT plusing. So, and of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. And real quick, I do want to mention I do have a Discord server. So if you guys want to join the server, I don't really promote it too much. I think the last time I promoted it was on my Noctis video. But yeah, I do have a server. If you guys want to join, that link will be down in the description of this video or in the pinned comment where I will add the list of BT characters that we're going to be talking about. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and start off. We're going to talk about first Gilgamesh and Kefka. Now, with these two units, Gilgamesh, I somehow got lucky in pulling his BT weapon, but I never really used him like that. I mean, I grabbed his LD weapon, and his LD weapon is, yeah, I can't really say different, but like it's interesting to say. So basically, his LD ability makes it so that his HP attack changes into 3 different abilities that some of us are pretty familiar with. So it'll change either to Paladin Cecil's LD ability, Cloud's LD ability, and Ramza's LD ability. And you have a 25% chance of getting either of these 3 attacks. So it's very random. It's different, but I mean, I can kind of see how they went about his kit, seeing as how Gilgamesh is as a character. So it's different. It's not bad per se, in my opinion, unless you are really 100% relying on his LD ability and trying to like get a specific one. Then I mean, that's all on you. That's really all I can say. But like, for those who don't really like take this type of like, RNG within a character too seriously, then, Gilgamesh is actually a pretty fun character to use. I mean, at least that's in my opinion, right? I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like some players might think I'm crazy for saying it, but I mean, he was actually pretty fun to use. Now, his BT though, with his BT effect is, it's a stackable one, right? So you have to have, you get to 4 stacks, and it increases every time that Gilgamesh acts. So he provides a 50% Brave damage up, 20% Stolen Max Brave Overflow up, a 20% HP damage up, and a 20% Max Brave Cap up. And if you do decide that you want to go ahead and BT plus him, you do get an additional 50% Brave damage up. So that's a 100% Brave damage up, which is really good. And a 10% Party Max Brave Cap up, which will, if you're combining both of these 2 things right here, having that big Brave damage up bonus will help out in reaching those high numbers that you are wanting to do. But of course, there are other aspects, so like support, a whole bunch of other things, right? Depending on what the fight is, etc., etc. So no, I mean, overall though, I mean, I don't think Gilgamesh is a bad character. I mean, like I can't say he's like similar to other BT units. I mean, I do have BT units currently that provide me with Brave damage up. If I'm not mistaken, I think Jack does. So when it comes to Gilgamesh, will I pull for him? Probably not. At least not in this time frame, maybe in the future, if he does get like say an FR or something like that, and it's like a pretty busted one, then maybe I'd consider it, just depending on what exactly they actually give him. But overall, though, I mean, like he's not a fun character. He is a fun character for sure. But I don't think he's like a character that you like really need, unless you are wanting to take advantage of what he has with his BT effect. Now with Kefka, though, Kefka with his rework and whatnot, of course, he does get a small rework, I believe, to his LD and his skill 2, if I'm not mistaken, his Trine ability, if I'm correct. Actually, let's check that out real quick because I don't want to accidentally say the wrong thing. So yeah, he does get. Oh no, I am completely wrong. So he does get a rework with his skill 1 and skill 2. So I apologize for that. And that's about it. And then with his BT plus, though, his BT plus, he does get his BT effect extended to 8 turns, which is great. Now Kefka's BT basically will give him more HP damage up whenever there are more. Whenever you have. The more debuffs that you have on the enemy will equal the amount of increased HP damage that Kefka is going to be doing. So, and of course, Kefka's whole thing is debuffing units. So with Kefka, if you do decide to BT plus him, you get Stolen Max Brave Overflow up and Max Brave Cap up. And he does also get an increase in the amount of brave damage that it deals now, based on the amount of debuffs that you have. So you can have an 80% brave damage resist down onto the enemies, which in turn will equal more brave damage for Kefka to be doing, which is really good. And this affects the party. This is not just for Kefka himself. So that really helps out in the potential brave damage that you can be doing against the enemy. So overall, though, Kefka, I mean, for being a strong debuffer that he is, if I had the decision to choose between Gilgamesh and Kefka, I would actually consider BT plus and Kefka, because I feel like with Kefka, I don't really have debuffers like that where like characters that are straight up debuffers, and I don't really use debuffers like that. So if I wanted to change up like team comps or like characters that I normally don't use, I would actually consider BT plus and Kefka, because I see some pretty strong potential in what Kefka does have, and with his BT plus now providing that the opportunity to deal some additional brave damage. I could definitely see myself BT plus in Kefka, if anything. I don't know. I can't remember if I have his BT on global or not. But if I don't, and if I really want to, I don't know. You never know. I might just token his BT or something like that. We'll see. Kefka, in my opinion, he's actually not too shabby, especially for a debuffer. Next up is going to be the banners of Ceodore and Tidus. Now, excuse me, Ceodore, I did manage to pick up his BT. I BT plus them in JP. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Don't get me wrong. Don't take this the wrong way. But the thing is, though, like Ceodore, I actually didn't really use him outside of his synergy waste. And that's probably because of other characters that are coming up that we're about to talk about that are some favorites of mine. So I kind of feel like Ceodore was just like, okay, yeah, thanks, buddy. You were fun to use. But I gotta move on. That's pretty much what I did with Ceodore. But no, Ceodore, he's not a bad character. What he provides is that his awaken buff that you have to like refresh here and there. The duration of it won't decrease with his BT effect, which is nice. So that's like one less thing you have to worry about him. He does provide Stolen Max Brave Overflow up, Party Brave damage up by 50%. Now, whenever party members whose HP is 50% or above they get a Brave damage up by 50%, Stolen Max Brave Overflow up, 20% HP damage up, Brave damage cap up. And then if you do decide to BT plus them, for party members whose HP is higher than is 50% or more than 50% or more of the HP, right? As long as they maintain above that, you get additional HP damage up and Brave damage cap up. So it's definitely not at all for BT effect wise is definitely not bad. Ceodore does get a rework with his BT plus, and his attacks definitely become much more nastier. But I kind of feel like for me myself though, if I had to choose between Ceodore or Tidus, I think this time I'm actually going to go with Tidus because Tidus, he does, if I'm not mistaken, he does get a rework, but having the ability to have a second access to Jack shot is very, very nice in my opinion. And then later on, when he gets another rework and he gets his FR, yeah, Tidus becomes a freaking monster. He becomes like he definitely becomes like some of the top FR units to have in the future or during the FR era for sure. Excuse me. So if you do decide that you want to BT plus Tidus, you get additional party brave damage up and party brave damage cap up, which that right there will help him out greatly. And especially if you pair him up with any other character that is able to increase the brave damage cap up, or excuse me, not the brave damage up, but the max brave cap up, then Tidus will be doing some very solid numbers. So you can't really go wrong with either of these two characters. Ceodore, he's definitely not bad at all. But with Tidus, though, especially with what I know now with his FR and whatnot, and the potential in damage that he can actually dish out, I will 100% be greening Tidus over Ceodore. Now, I mean, if there's a free multi and all of a sudden, like, I get the BT or something like that for free, then we can talk. But you really can't go wrong with either of the two, in my opinion. But when it comes to Tidus, though, if you are a player who's worried about longevity, then Tidus is definitely your boy, in my opinion. Next up is going to be the Start Dash banners, which with these two characters, look, I'm going to go ahead and say that since Lightning's BT Plus has yet to be released, I don't know when exactly they are going to release a Start Dash banner again. So you never know. You might actually see these two characters alongside with Lightning either a little bit later, early. I don't know at this point because Lightning should have came out already, but she is still in the void and whatnot. So I don't know what's going on. But excuse me. So with Squall and Cloud, well, both of these two characters, obviously they are some very heavy DPS units. Now his BT, and if I'm not mistaken, Squall does get a rework with the Start Dash banner. His BT effect does get extended to 8 turns, and he does provide the party now with brave damage up and max brave cap up by 20%. With Cloud does get a rework, and then with his BT effect gets extended to 6 turns now, and then he also adds a 50% attack up and a 30% brave damage cap up. You honestly cannot go wrong with either of these two characters, in my opinion. Again, they're both DPS units. They are both very solid as BT plus units. I mean, you really can't go wrong with either of the two. But because FF7 was my first Final Fantasy and first RPG, Cloud is going to be getting that green first. Now, if I do have additional, Ultima resources like that, then maybe I'd consider greening Squall as well. But again, you really can't go with either of these two characters because they become very powerful with their reworks, and then having access to a second BT effect is very nice. So yeah, excuse me. All right, next up is gonna be Zack and Ramza. I'm gonna let you guys know right now. I'm gonna be pulling for Zack's BT 100% because again, I am a huge FF7 fan, and especially Crisis Core with Zack. Best believe your boy is going for Zack. Now Zack, he does get a rework if I'm not mistaken with his BT. He does, yeah, with Divine Leviathan. So his LD does get a rework, but everything else doesn't, which is fine because like the amount of damage that your boy does, yeah. I mean, they would make him extra busted if that was the case. But Zack is a tank. Zack is a very powerful tank. Now, his BT effect basically makes it so that it directs all AoE HP damage to Zack, and Zack basically becomes immortal even if his HP goes to 0. So yeah, very, very strong BT effect for those who love tanks. Zack is definitely one to snag. Now, after his BT effect is removed, he does recover his HP to 1 if it is at 0. He does provide the party with a Brave Shield of 150% of own initial Brave. If incoming Brave damage is less than 100% of the Brave Shield, it reduces that damage. If the incoming damage is higher than that, it reduces the damage received by the Brave Shield value. He also provides the party with Brave damage up, HP damage up, Brave damage cap up, and he also adds more HP damage up, and party max Brave cap up. Yes, Zack is a very powerful tank, especially if you are going into fights where enemies love spamming AoE attacks. Best believe your boy, as long as you got that BT effect active, you'll be just fine. That BT effect lasts for 8 turns, and that's more than enough with how powerful his BT effect is. So yeah, best believe I'm pulling for Zack. Regardless, even if his BT was bad or whatever, it's Zack. You can't go wrong with Zack. Now Ramza though, Ramza he definitely gets a good amount. I believe he does get a rework with the Divine Leviathan. He does. So excuse me. Sorry, still recovering from the virus. But yeah, so he does get a rework alongside with Zack, and then his BT effect does get extended to 8 turns, and he now provides the party with a max Brave cap up and an HP damage up, and that depends on, or the percentage depends on how many total buffs there are on the party. So you can have a maximum of up to 36% HP damage up and a 36% max Brave cap up. Now, like I said, with that rework though, his HP plus, yeah, that thing is stupid. It's so much fun being able to spam his HP plus because it becomes that good. But no, Ramza being a support character, providing some pretty good auras to the party. I will definitely be greening Ramza as well because yeah, he's really, really good. And his utility, not utility, but his longevity lasts for a very good while, a very, very good while. So Ramza is definitely one to not overlook as well. But yes, I am definitely going to be greening both Zack and Ramza. Next up is Laguna and the Terra banners. Now, Laguna, oh boy, Laguna is, I love using Laguna. So Laguna gets a follow-up with his LD ability, and I know he does get a rework as well to his skills, if I'm not mistaken. He definitely does. So yeah, so he does get a rework. His like I said, his LD ability does provide a follow-up now with his Ragnarok Blade attack, and it has 2 HP dumps on that follow-up that does deal split HP damage. His BT effect, though, provides him with a golden frame debuff called Desperado. Now, Desperado is a 50% defense down, a 20% HP damage resist down, so that means you'll be dealing more HP damage. And after an afflicted target receives an attack, it triggers the follow-up attack. So this follow-up attack, as long as the enemies has this equipped, or not equipped, is inflicted with this debuff, it triggers an AoE HP follow-up that is based on 300% of Laguna's attack. But if you do BT plus him, that goes up to 500%. This is a very strong, and I mean very strong, debuff, and this attack is very, very good. Trust me, it's very nice to be able to get that additional follow-up that is just based off of one thing and that's it. So you don't have to worry about trying to build up a whole bunch of Brave just to be able to help out with this attack. Nope, you just gotta make sure that you give Laguna as much attack as possible to be able to increase the amount of damage with this follow-up attack. So it's very, very good. Very, very good. Using him as a friend support as well, and inflicting the enemies with this with his BT and his the debuff. Yeah, very nice. It's very, very nice. Now, his BT effect does provide the party with a brave damage cap up and a max brave cap up by 2% per debuff on the target, so a maximum of 16%. And then his BT, or yeah, if you do decide to BT plus him, he does provide an additional 2%, so now it'll be 32% for the party max brave cap up. So Laguna, I will more than likely pick up again, just because like he is so freaking fun to use, and that BT effect debuff or golden frame debuff is so nice. And best believe I'm gonna put him as a friend support, so that way whoever has me added can enjoy the lovely damage from that debuff. Now Terra, I believe, gets a rework as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, she gets a rework with her LD, I believe. Yeah, her LD. Yes, so her LD does get reworked a little bit, so it does 2 more HP dumps, so now it's 4. Her BT effect. Now got increased by 1 turn. Oh no, it didn't. No. Take that back. It's still at 10 for the BT effect. So if you do decide to BT plus Terra now gets a party HP damage up by 20% and a party max brave cap up by 10%. So now it is a 30%. The nice thing about Terra's BT effect is the fact that at the end of the turn for anybody, they get an increase in brave by 50% of the brave damage dealt, which is really nice. So if you take her with characters that, like, say, deal a lot of brave hits or can easily deal some very heavy brave damage, and best believe you're basically gonna be battering yourself so easily that like that you. I mean, the potential of you being able to cap a lot will help you out, at least in the first HP attack, because it just depends on like what your team comp is, what type of attack you use, and so on and so forth. So Terra's definitely not bad in my opinion. She does get an FR later on, and her FR is nasty, like really nasty, and then she does get a rework again. With a skill 1 and skill 2, and she actually becomes so much better. Like, she becomes extremely solid. I tell you, whoo! Like, I've seen some damage output, especially when we were doing the Shiryu co-op, when she got her FR, and yeah, yes, it's very nice. So for those who are considering BT plusing, I mean, you can either hold off or you can wait until her FR weapon does come out. She aside from what she provides with her BT effect, though, she doesn't really provide for anything offensive wise. And when I say that, I'm talking about like mainly like increasing some of the brave damage. So you're pretty much relying on yourself, or I guess for your other 2 teammates, you're pretty much relying on yourself to deal as much brave damage just to get that lovely battery that she provides from her BT effect. So you can actually do some pretty good things with Terra though. But for me myself, I have a BT? I don't know, but regardless, I may or may not. I'll think about it. But what I might just do is actually wait until she gets her FR before I decide to BT plus her, just to be on the safe side. Because like if say like, something happens, or if I change my mind, then at least I know that I do have Terra in case I want to be able to use her in the future, especially during FR. Whew, that FR boy. And then the rework that she gets is crazy too. But anyways, but yeah, no, Terra's not a bad option in my opinion, in terms of BT plus, and especially if you just want to take advantage of the battery that you can get as long as you are dishing out very good brave damage or a lot of brave damage hits. Now, finally, we're gonna end it off with Ciaran and Vaan. Now, Ciaran. Whew. Ciaran, you can say that he's somewhat similar, but he's not exactly like Ramza in terms of what he provides. Ciaran definitely provides a whole lot more. But combining these two characters, Ramza and Ciaran, whew, yeah, nasty. But anyways, no, Ciaran with his BT effect, oh yeah, provides a lot of stuff. Now the BT effect lasts for 8 turns. Now these effects are based on the overhead that Ciaran has, and so now it provides the party with stolen max brave overflow up, gained max brave overflow up, HP damage up, brave gains up. Yes, brave gains. Yeah, it's that good. And the effects, if you do decide that you want to BT plus Ciaran, he does add more brave gains up and party max brave cap up. Yes, so you could potentially be providing a party depending on the amount of stacks. Actually, let me make sure because I don't want to accidentally. Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure that what was said right there was actually his overhead, the drops of however you say that. But yeah, so no, you can actually get a potential 50% brave gains up for your party. And I think everybody at this point knows like how good brave gains up is and how potent it was fighting against the brave reduction, even though we are in the quote unquote garbage era that everybody is calling it now. But no, having this BT effect on top of what his LD with the overhead that he has, yeah, your boy is providing a crap ton of ores to the party via his BT and his LD. It's crazy, or his overhead. So best believe, even though I did not BT plus him in JP because I accidentally got his BT from tickets, but I never BT plus him. But from what I have seen gameplay wise, and from what I have been told, he is 100% worth greening whenever his banner does drop. So I am going to make sure this time on my global account that I'm gonna BT plus him when he drops. And then finally, we're gonna be talking about Vaan. Now I think everybody knows what Vaan does. Vaan is straight up DPS galore, baby. So with Vaan, he does get a rework, and I believe this is to his to his LD, and that's it. Because like his skill 1 and skill 2, look, he already does enough damage as it is now. So for them to actually even consider like reworking that is pretty crazy. But no, I mean, for those who don't know, like Vaan can dish out an extremely high amount of damage, and especially getting those free ability uses from his after you use his LD is pretty nuts. But with his BT effect, though, his BT effect got extended to 8 turns now instead of the previous 4. And he now adds brave damage up, HP damage up, brave damage cap up, max brave cap up, and brave gains up. Now, the percentages, they are not very, very high. And I think the reason why they did that is because of the fact that Vaan, again, he does damage, and he will make sure that he does damage. So I really think that's why they decided to hold off on going overboard with his BT effect, just because of what he already does now. So yes, I will be greening Vaan because I mean, there's nothing wrong with going with BT plusing a DPS unit, and especially a DPS unit that like practically ignores like everything at this point, as long as you set up correctly before his first HP attack. So yeah, Vaan is definitely a very good option for those who are needing a DPS unit. Then he's definitely worth greening. But yeah, I definitely will be greening your boy Vaan whenever he drops. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Like I said earlier, I will make a list for you guys so that way you can copy pasta down in the comment section below on who you are considering pulling, BT plusing, whatever it is that you want to talk about with the characters that I have mentioned. Feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, if you did enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next video.